Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. So I was talking to you guys about Mayweather again. And I know a lot of people do not like that I speak about Floyd Mayweather being the best ever. But I like to quote David Mayo for a minute. Floyd Mayweather calls himself TBE, the best ever, and critics of his boxing style ridicule him for it. All they lack is concrete evidence to refute it. I like what David Mayo says for Am Live, which is Michigan Live, because David Mayo makes a very valid point. His point is that all of these people, including the old school boxers and the historians and all these people, a lot of them are offended that Floyd Mayweather says he's a better boxer than Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali. But none of them, it's like they have a knee-jerk reaction to it. None of them actually understand what he's saying. And I said again, Mayweather goes by facts. He doesn't go by sentiment. The greatness of a boxer was highlighted in my video before. And the greatness of a boxer is determined by dance partners, rivalries, exciting fights, knockouts, etc. And also by public sentiment, so that people will say that the fans determine how great a boxer I am and how pleasing I am. Mayweather is not speaking from that perspective. That's why I told you, a great boxer and a boxer who is the best boxer out there go by two different set of criteria. When Floyd talks about himself being TBE, he specifically used the best ever and not the greatest of all time or the greatest boxer. And it wasn't because of Muhammad Ali. He was speaking purely on the basis of boxing, the art of hitting and not getting hit. And technically speaking, Floyd is a much better boxer than Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali. He doesn't make those mistakes Muhammad Ali does in his game. He doesn't get hit like how Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson get hit. So he, again, factually speaking, when you talk about the art of hitting and not getting hit, which is boxing, the science of boxing, when it comes down to that, Floyd is absolutely correct. He's a better boxer than those guys. So he's not saying anything wrong. Now, some people are of the opinion that saying you're the best ever is the same thing as you saying you're the greatest boxer of all time, because Mike Tyson used the term, and Mike Tyson used the term too loosely. When we talk about the best ever, or if you say a man is a better boxer than another man, we generally compare not only their resume, but we also compare their fighting styles and how one fighting style prevails over the other. So we're not just speaking about sentiment, rivalries, knockouts. We're not just talking about that. We're talking about boxing, right? So I just wanted to make that statement very clear. And I think a lot of people are butthurt that, I am going against the grain of, public sentiment and saying that Floyd is a better boxer than Sugar Ray Robinson. Floyd is a better boxer than Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Sugar Ray Robinson, in his era, didn't have certain styles. And coming to the end of his era, he confronted certain styles. All right? The high guard, peekaboo defense wasn't seen mostly through Sugar Ray Robinson's career. Sugar Ray Robinson, actually, most of the fighter in his career had the shoulder roll, what some people call the Philly shell kind of defense. There wasn't a lot of high guard defense in Robinson's time. Okay? And you would see down to the end of Robinson's time, he faced a fighter named Gene Fullmer, who was using the high guard. Okay? And Fullmer beat him most of the time. In most of the fights, well, Fullmer actually beat him twice. He beat Fullmer once. And the other two fights were draws. And my point anyway is this. Robinson had difficulty dealing with the high guard defense. That's my point. No matter what you say, the fights were always difficult for him to win. Okay? And you have to understand, even Willie Pep had difficulty with Sandy Sadler's style because the high guard wasn't a prevalent thing back then. What Floyd Mayweather's style is, well, is a combination of the high guard and many other things. It's not just the shoulder roll. And I'll do a video on that in a minute. But suffice it to say, what I'm telling you is this, that Mayweather has dealt with all those things. And Mayweather has had Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, and so many other great fighters, including Roy Jones Jr., to watch at. So that not only can he incorporate certain elements of their game, including Marvin Hagler and so on, into his fighting, but now he could take his fighting and upgrade it. He's better conditioned than all these guys because he had all of them to look at and to benefit from. You get what I'm saying? So obviously he's going to be a better boxer than they are. Okay? For their era, they were great for their era. They were great for their time, but this is different times. And people now know how to deal with the high guard. People now know how to deal with different styles of boxing, okay, that weren't prevalent back in Sugar Ray Robinson's time. See what I'm saying? So again, I use logic, I use reasoning, I use facts. We're coming from facts. TBE is not based on public sentiment. It's not based on opinion solely. It's based on facts. Get what I'm saying? And once you get that out the way, now you can understand. It's like someone who's a better singer than a very popular singer. But the popular singer is a greater singer than that person because it's much more well known and they've done some memorable things that stay in people's minds. Okay? Let's move on. And I think in boxing, a lot of people get carried away with power and strength and knockouts. I don't know why, but the average person, even so-called boxing historians, talk about, oh, he was very strong and he could knock out a man. But who cares? Who cares? Is he winning? Or if he were to go in the square circle against someone, would he win? Okay? That's what matters. Because it's about boxing. Okay? And I don't care what the judges say. I care about what happened in the actual fight. So here we have the annual ratings by BoxRec, not by the ring this time, by BoxRec. And BoxRec calculates their annual ratings a very simple way. It is via computer, don't get me wrong, but they're able to track, say for instance, I'm looking right now at the middleweight division. So every year from 1879, they were able to track who was the dominant boxer, who was the top boxer, and sometimes the top 10 boxers during those times. So you can go from 1879, 1800s to the 1900s here, you seeing that, then to the years 1940, 1950, you see they're going through the years here, 1970, you see Carlos Monzon's time. Carlos Monzon was the man, and then you have the other 10, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so you have the top 10 middleweights in the world in 1970, okay, and they're by rank there. So you can go all the way down to the present time. See, if you look at the present time, 2011, Sergio Martinez was the dude. 2013, Sergio Martinez. 2014, I think Cotto beat Martinez. So Gennady Golovkin was the dude of the division. He was the man. Oh no, yes, because I think Cotto beat Martinez then, something like that. And then Alvarez is the man of the division. Not really. He's the lineal champion at least. I don't know why he's so high up. Gennady Golovkin should be, but maybe it's based on his wins and the fact that he's the lineal champion. That's how the computer probably calibrated it. So that really you can, from that information, be able to tally up how many times a person they topped their respective division. And what's very interesting about this information is that when you actually review the information, who is at the top of that totem pole? Floyd Mayweather Jr. Then next is Sugar Ray Robinson. Okay? And after that, we have Ricardo Lopez. And then after that, we have Roy Jones Jr., Manny Pacquiao, Bernard Hopkins, and so on. But basically, Floyd Mayweather tops 14 times for 14 years he topped his respective divisions he was in. Okay? Sugar Ray Robinson was next. He topped 13 times the respective divisions he was in. Sugar Ray Robinson was in 2 divisions, which was welterweight and middleweight. He never was defeated at welterweight, okay, in terms of when he became champion. When you become champion, back then you were at the top of your respective division. In the modern times, it wasn't exactly that way. All right, so Floyd's times, he topped the division because of his accomplishments, who he fought, etc. Like super featherweight, he was the top guy in super featherweight. He beat the top guy, which was Gennaro Hernandez, and then he went and beat Diego Corrales. And then he was the top guy at lightweight because he beat the man there. And then he was the top guy at welterweight and super welterweight. Okay? He was the top guy 14 times. Sugar Ray Robinson was the top guy 13 times. And this is just evidence based on BoxRec. This is just BoxRec, though. Showing again, these are factual pieces of information. BoxRec going all the way back to the 1800s, showing that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was, in fact, the best ever from late 1800s to the present time, because he happened to be at the top of whatever respective division he was in more than anybody else. And it makes absolute sense. He began his career as champion very early in his career. Only 2 years into his career, he became world champion. So it makes sense that he would be at the top, especially if you're not defeated and you're facing everybody. He would be at the top of his career throughout his career. Okay? And this is just more evidence to show that Mayweather is the best ever. I never claimed, and I don't think he ever claims, that he's the greatest of all time. Some people say he's the greatest of all time, but that cannot be. You can't be the greatest of all time based solely on factual information and on things you can observe. If you're talking about pound for pound, as to pound for pound, who would win a fight if Floyd was to fight whoever, I believe he'd beat whoever throughout history of the top guys. If they all were muddled down to one weight class. And the reason being, Floyd has beaten many different kinds of styles. And we'll go into that at another time. You guys have a great one.